Okay, when we get to formulas, we're going to end up with more than one variable or pronumeral. We're going to find out the subject. The subject is the variable for which we want to find the answer, and we'll be able to, the subject will be on the left-hand side. For example, V is the subject here, and then we have our other two variables. Well, the formula or rule, if we're using a formula, it's an equation that has two or more variables, one of which is the subject of the equation, and these variables, we will be able to know something about them in order to solve them, so we substitute the known values and then solve the equation. So, for example, one of the easiest formulas we have is perimeter. So the perimeter, here's our subject, is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So length and width are variables. So in this case, if I tell you that we are looking for P when the length equals 4, and the width equals 7, we can simply substitute that. So I start by writing my formula, equals 2L plus 2W, and then I write underneath it, keeping my equal signs lined up, my substitutions. So using brackets, I know that L is 4, so I'll substitute 4 in the place where was L, and in the place where was W, I would do this. Now remember, it's better to write this than it is to write this, because as we get into algebra, this is correct, but is that an X? Or is that a multiplication sign? We have no issues when we know that we have brackets next to it, so we'll use the brackets. And then working that out, 4 times 2 is 8, 7 times 2 is 14, therefore the perimeter is now known, after we've substituted those values, to be 22. It doesn't always work in that order, though. Sometimes you're given the subject and you have to figure out some other variable. So we want to know the length when the perimeter is 40 and the width is 30. So we'll use our same old tried and true perimeter formula. 2 times the length times the width. But now we're going to substitute 40 for P, because I know 40 is P. What else do I know? I don't know what L is, so I'm going to leave that as 2L. But I'm going to add now 2 times W, and W is 3. So 40 is equal to 2L plus 6. Now we are in familiar territory, because all we got to do is balance out this equation by taking the same amount from each side, leaving us just with 2L. 40 minus 6 is 34. Yep. And then, how do I get 1L? I divide by 2 on both sides to get an equivalent equation, and that is 17 equals 1L, and you would then say, therefore, L is equal to 17. Joy.